Hello, my dears. Okay. You got your two pieces of paper. You have the value paper, and then you have your background paper. Remember, this side is going to be the water, this side is going to be the sky. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to cut these into strips. And I bet you're thinking, what are we doing? I'm going to show you. So we want to keep working with the theme of atmospheric perspective. And with that theme of atmospheric perspective, we have the lighter objects towards the back and the darker objects towards the front. So we're going to continue that theme in our landscape today. Okay? So, lightest is going to be in the back, darkest is going to be in the front. Now we've cut it into strips, and I bet you're thinking, you're like, all right, now what? We're going to do a little bit of ripping. And you're probably thinking, what? Did all that work for us to rip this? Yes. We're going to rip these into different size shapes. So we don't want them to be perfect. We want them just to... We don't really want them square either. Okay, so we're going to put these one up because they're up over the horizon line. Let's switch these sides. Now, sometimes when you create your shapes, you create a shape that you really, really like, and you're like, oh, but I already put a different shape over there. You can change your shapes. Okay, so I'm just placing them to get an idea. And then you can take and also make smaller shapes. To like overlap those ones. Okay, like that. So that one I'm going to put there. I'm going to put those in there. All right, I'm going to do the next color, where I'm going to do the same thing. And with ripping shapes, sometimes you don't have any control over how they turn out. Maybe this one goes over here. I think that one goes over there. You just kind of have to like look at it and kind of like guess. It's like, I don't really know that this shape belongs where I put it. I think that one does. I think that's coming out nice. Okay. And you got extra shapes that you kind of make as you go. And the idea of terrain is comes from the northern landscape of the Yukon, which is up by Alaska in that area. And when you're up there, it's very, very cold. And the way that ice forms, if you don't, you didn't grow up in that kind of a region, it might not make a lot of sense to you, but I grew up where it was cold, and ice and snow kind of always had minds of their own and shapes of their own, and they would often just look crazy and insane, and they would be sharp. Like, people always think of snow as being like soft and pretty, but it can be very sharp and pointy and jagged, and that's kind of like what we're recreating when we're doing this. And like I said, if you want to add more shapes, like I feel like this one needs another little, needs a little friend with it. Oh, I like that shape. I'm just going to stick that guy right there. Now you can see some of these little smaller pieces that I have. You can always add them in. Maybe over here. You don't have to close in the bottom if you don't want to. I think it adds some interest. Okay, so I'm gonna put that like that. And what we don't want to do is we kind of want to like cover the purple area as you know. I'm going to take this one out. I don't like that one, but maybe one of the smaller pieces? More, I don't know. Okay. So you're going to rip and tear and decide where you want everything to go. After you've done that, you can glue these down in whichever order you think that they should look. Now, the important thing is you still have to have your lightest to darkest. And then after you have them all glued down, I'll show you what to do next. So I'm going to glue mine down, and then tomorrow we're going to do some of the finishing touches on it, which there isn't a whole lot left to do for this. So we're going to glue down our blue shapes, and then tomorrow I'll show you how to finish it up. I know you're thinking, like, some of them hang off the edge. They're supposed to. So these ones are all hanging off the edge. After I glue it down, I can flip it over and it dries, and I can trim off the extra and I can square up my paper again. So what I want you to do is just don't worry about them hanging off the edge. If they hang off the edge, it's fine. If you want to spread them out a little bit more, like, oh, it's like, oh, that, like that, or maybe create more of like a V shape. Okay, I actually really like that. The only thing is I want that angled down. I'm going to definitely take that guy out. But like a V shape, like this. You know, you figure it out as you go. But keep all your little scraps, because like I said, you know, I'm kind of deciding that maybe I need another little shape in here. I haven't fully decided if I want to close that off completely or if I just want to leave it open at the bottom like that. I don't know. We're also going to add, I don't know if you want to call it the sun or a moon, depending on what you're feeling. It's probably more of a sun kind of an idea. Let's see. Yeah, it's a sun. Or you can make it a moon if you want, you know. I think it's up to you. Now remember, we are gluing onto crayon, or at least I'm gluing onto crayon. If you use crayons at home, you do need a little bit more glue than you think you would. If you have liquid glue, you can still dot, not a lot, and you're golden. All right, so glue it all down the way that you think it looks best. Don't worry about any edges hanging off. After it dries, we can snip, snip, snip and make it look nice and square again. Okay, guys, that's all you have to do for me today. Spend some time, arrange your ripped up shapes. Don't use scissors to cut up your shapes, okay? Arrange them out the way that you think looks best, and we'll finish her up tomorrow. Okay, guys, bye.